everybody, and welcome back. I am sitting here with Kay Singleton, who is a GutZy Women, and that's with a Z. And I'm Debbie Ducic with GutZy Women, and that's Do You See? I See. This is the second in a series of videos with Kay Singleton, master artist and songwriter and singer and just a beautiful creative person who also happens to be a very savvy businesswoman. So I would like all of you GutZy women out there to really listen in, because this is a lady that can really offer a lot. She happens to be on my social networking site, our social networking site, which is called GutZyWomen.ning.com. She is a member there. You can come in there and pick her brain, right? Yeah. As a matter of fact, when you come there, you'll find all kinds of very savvy women on that website that you can learn from. So please, it's free, and we would love for you to become a member. So on with the show here. Kay Singleton, if you didn't see the last video, is a gal that I met about 15 years ago. She actually was, shortly thereafter, I think, president of the Women's Network, and became Business Women's Network Women of the Year. So you're talking about a gal that has done a lot in the community and is very well respected. So I am very honored to have her here with me. And I think you'll learn a lot from her. So I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to let her talk. In the previous video, we talked about traditional versus new age, sort of technology-oriented marketing. Talk a little bit about how you began, so that artists out there can see, if they're at that traditional point right now, how you made the transition into using technology and multimedia marketing.
It just became clear to me that if I was going to have people see my work in one space, in one place, unless I wanted to rent real estate, which I really didn't want to do, the website was the thing for me. And this was probably 15 years ago, maybe even more. And I just realized that, we're going to have a presence. We're going to have, good, clean images up, and just, project that quality for people to see, where they can just come, open the door, and take a look at it.
Well, and what were you doing before? How were you marketing your art before?
My main thrust was meeting people. It was getting to know folks.
Okay.
So
the networking
so important.
piece.
Yeah, and so it carries over real well into the World Wide Web world, where you can just meet so many more people with some of these tools. So, but I was using galleries, and I was using some of the traditional things. I get out and I do a lot of partnering with businesses, and I'm doing a lot of partnering with, I'll just actually just go into somebody's, business or home or whatever it is, and just boldly ask, hey, let's do something together. Matter of fact, there's a fellow just right up the street who bought a few prints and gave them away with his office furniture. Done a couple of promotions like that. Just you have to do that, because there's not a lot of people that are going to just, oh, here, miss, let me help you. Let me just, throw myself into your... They don't have time for that. You have to, like any businessman, you have to connect yourself with somebody who needs something, and sometimes it takes a little more work than that. So
sometimes they don't know that they need it. So you really have to present what you have to offer in an aggressive way. And that's one of the problems that I see with a lot of the women artists in Pueblo. They're extremely talented, and their work is just beautiful, but they really don't know how to get out there. And they think that somebody's going to come along and just, discover them, and, that would be great. I mean, we would all love that, but it just doesn't happen that way. So the beauty of what you just said is that the thing that we're good at as women is networking, physically networking. We know that. We've learned that over the last 20 years. But now the internet and Web 2.0 works the same way as that. It is so much like the way women work, and that's what's so exciting to me. So first of all, you said you started with a website. tell us what the domain name of that website is so that if these ladies want to go take a look, they can.
It's www.alpinearts.com, ALPINEARTS.com. And if you plug that in, it will come up first on your search. We'll talk about all that later. But alpinearts.com, and it consists mostly of my images. It has originals, sold images, and prints. And some of the prints are now available by PayPal, which I'm happy and excited.
So you are directly selling off that website?
Some things,
a little bit?
yeah.
Okay.
The ones that are easier to sell that way. Original art, I'd rather not do that way, but for the time being, anyway. And it has some communique page that you'll see at the bottom of the home page on the very right that has some other things that are kind of art supported, but not necessarily the art. There's writings, there's blogs, there's some things that you might really enjoy, some inspirational matter and such. So
yes, and I was there, and I took a look at those articles, and I noticed that you have articles that are teaching people how to do what you do. So what a great resource for all you artists out there. Go to her website and go to her articles and some of the other things that she has beside her art on there, and she'll actually teach you the process that she went through, which is a great resource, and I'm sure that all these gals out there are going to really appreciate that. Here's a mentor, and she's helping teach. And she's doing that through her website, as well as, don't you do some of that in person as well?
I've got some students, yeah. We hang out and they go to concerts or they go to shows or something. Sometimes I'll just kind of help out with things, whatever their interest is in. I'll try to hook them up with the right events, and they come along.
Yeah. And you have a blog, and is that on the same website?
It is. You can get there from the site. Just go to the bottom. My sidebar links are all on the bottom. This is the only unusual thing about the site. I just didn't want the big sidebar on the side, so but you'll see it all there. It's all.
Okay, so you have that. Now I noticed too that you have your art on other websites. Tell us about that.
ImageKind, Art.com. Those are the two that I've used, but there are others. They get your name up to the top of the search when you plug it in immediately. They're huge. Their inbound links are very strong, and they have just a lot of power to get your name up there. If you have a website, they can then hit you there, then hit your own website. So it gets you a lot faster, a lot more exposure than you were used to.
Okay, so it brings you up in the search engines, gives you a lot more presence on the internet. But let me ask you this, are you selling anything on them?
I got a little check from Art.com just recently. I've just gotten started doing all this,
okay.
But Art.com has paid me, yes. Yeah, so we're getting started. ImageKind seems even better. It brought me up within about a day and a half with some people that wanted something. So
great. Well, we're going to be back for one more little video, and she's just so full of information. You haven't even heard half of it. So we are going to sign off now. Thank you very much for coming, but do come to the next video. This is Debbie Ducic with GutZy Women. Come back and see us.